So, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the Female Founders Wave8 of Accelerated Frankfurt program. It's 1 p.m. CET in Frankfurt. And today we're live streaming. I believe it's our fourth session. Correct me if I'm wrong. Thumbs up. Is it the fourth session we're in? Yes, it is. And we have one of our strategic partners with us today, deepwork.studio. Andre will take the ladies through a workshop. But before I hand over to Andre, I would like a short, very brief intro of each of the four female founders to Andre, who you are, where you're based, and what is it that you're doing. Let's start with Hanna, please.
Yes, I'm Hanna Kekkonen. I work since ever in a big corporate. Now I'm looking into a startup. I want to deep dive into waste. That doesn't really sound sexy, but there is big business in waste as the EU, especially with the Green Deal, is transforming into circular economy. And I have a couple of team members here today with me.
Mm-hmm. And
I live in Germany. Yeah, I live in Germany in Rheinland-Pfalz.
Okay, and the team members of Hanna, please wave hello. There they are.
Hello.
Good to see you.
I'm Sadie and here to join Hanna and support her. So looking forward to that. I have knowledge in sustainable energy technologies, so but can work on different things. So that's where I am.
Awesome. Next, Lena.
Yes, hello everyone. I'm Lena. I have a background in consulting and supply chain management, and recently joined Hanna's team.
And Hagen is also
there. Hi together. I'm here from Heidelberg, also nearby, and also many years in the chemical industry, in sales and marketing, but also consulting as well.
Great.
Hello.
So, Hanna, you're in full force today. Hanna from Pilar, dealing with waste management. We're going now to our second female founder, Anu, who's in the insurtech space. Tell us about New Rands.
So my background is heavily in insurance world. I've been leading legal and compliance teams in Northern Europe for insurance giants like AXA. Having thought a couple of years back that I need to do something else than live my life in corporate world. So here I am with kind of trying to make a digitalized customer experience sales channel, fully digitalized product, tailor-made for kind of the individual needs, not the banks or any other distributors' needs. So that's in a nutshell what I'm looking at.
Excellent. Sorry? Oh, okay. No, I thought I heard someone speak. Where are you based, Anu?
Good point. I'm in Helsinki. I have lived in Germany as well because that seems to be the theme. So, but not currently.
Terrific. And next up on my screen is Miia with Eventual. Hi, Miia.
Hi there, and good afternoon from Helsinki, where I'm based. And I'm the CEO and the founder of Eventual, which is a crowdfunding platform for event generation. And this is my fourth week at the company, which we have been kind of working on for a year now. And I'm here with my colleague, CTO Uzair Khan.
Hey, Uzair Khan. I'm also, of course, based in Helsinki, working in the tech domain, especially with content management system for the past decade and a half, and have worked with organizations like Nokia, like well-known organizations here like Nokia, Neste, Konecranes, and I've been helping Miia with the technical implementation of the product.
Awesome.
totally forgot to tell about my background, which is in B2C marketing communications and PR. I was part of one of the biggest consultancies in the Nordics for 13 years as a director and a partner, and now in this new exciting project.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Miia and Uzer. Then we go to Karla Schönicke from Berlin.
Yes, I'm based in Berlin now, but I lived 1 year in Finland, in Helsinki too. Yeah, so I have a lot of background in the Berlin startup scene in different roles. For the past 4 years, I've been focusing on product management. Right now, in a global company, focusing on mobile testing. And the startup that I'm doing right now has to do with bias in data and how to remove that bias so the AI models that are trained on this data become actually fair and trustworthy and safe again. So that's the idea. And I'm still looking for a co-founder, so I'm alone at the moment.
Okay. So we should keep, if anyone's listening and would like to join with Karla's, contact her. Okay, before I pass it on to Andre for the rest of the couple of hours, just want to thank our sponsors for this program, MindClip Behavior, which is a company based in Finland that help team engagement and basically bring more efficiency out of team members. We've used MindClip Behavior in all our Accelerator Frankfurt programs to help the teams grow, but now the company is also expanding more to the corporate world. So that's for MindClip Behavior. It is November and I'm trying to grow a beard, a mustache, Movember. So this is the best I can do. Probably I'll have to shave it sometime tonight. And that's about it. Now I'm giving it to Andre. Andre, the teams are here. We'll start with Hanna because she has most of the team members here. And then when we go through, you will tell us how it goes. But as we move on, this will be interactive. All 4 female founders know each other pretty well. They know what each one is doing. So they will be participating as a team member as well during the workshop. But the reason I'm starting with Hanna is because she has 3 team members that don't really know the other female founders. And maybe if they need to leave to other meetings, we will release them after her session. Hope that's fine.
Yeah, cool. Thank you. This is going to be super fun. I put together a pretty kind of unique way for this workshop that I normally do with teams who are highly technical and kind of individually, but this is going to be interesting because we're going to work together. So yeah, first of all, I'm Andre. Nice to meet you all. Very interesting to hear all your backgrounds and projects. Very exciting to see where that can go. I run a design studio called deepwork, and we basically design interfaces for highly technical teams and do, I guess, the entire suite of like product design, interface design, UX design, visual design, branding, etc. But it's quite different from how a traditional agency would work, and some of the reasons for that you'll basically learn today because we have a completely kind of unique approach to remote collaboration. We all work completely distributed, and so do our teams that we work with. And so this session today is going to be split up in kind of 2 parts, I guess. But let's see how we kind of get through it. The very first part, we will basically, I'll show you basically a really effective ways to collaborate together in your team, whether you have one or you don't. It doesn't really matter, but we will actually kind of work together through some very structured exercises that I basically do them like on a weekly or bi-weekly basis with my team, or on workshops like these to just get unstuck and to know exactly what needs to be done for the specific product roadmap. And then I'm also going to talk to you a little bit about prototyping and user testing, because that's kind of my area of expertise or my passion is building out products, but like very kind of misleadingly real looking products, and then testing them as fast as possible to learn really quickly, and then to iterate faster than you actually would need to develop. So that saves a lot of time and a lot of money as well. And there's not unlimited money on this world. So anyway, I'm going to send you a link to a Miro board here, and this is kind of the very first step. So I think basically I think it's going to take about an hour, but we'll go through. But you can see here different kind of canvases, and it's more like from left to right. There's 4 lines.
Andre, can you share your screen, please?
Yeah, I'll share to show you. These are my notes. So this is what it should look like. You're probably zoomed in here into some like endless space, but if you zoom out a little bit, you'll see the full picture. And this is what you should see. There's these 4 kind of sections. I created them for each team one, so you'll see your name on the top left. And basically the goal of this is going to be to just brainstorm a couple of things that you perceive as challenges at the moment, and then together work through them, prioritize them, come up with a couple of solutions. And then if you already have a team, you can do this later for yourself. But to see like how to make the solutions really actionable. And it's very useful just in general to do it every now and then, because you might know from the agile world that there's backlogs, and you want to kind of work through things that just pile up, but you still need to prioritize them. And if you're alone, that works well, but if you're in a team, that gets increasingly more difficult, because there's just a lot of communication that needs to happen. So a lot of what we're going to do is going to be like basically simultaneously. So rather than talking to someone else about a problem and explaining to them something, and then receiving back the feedback and then passing that on to someone else, we're just all going to work together on one thing at the same time. And maybe some of you are familiar with that already, maybe not. But I think this at the stage that you're at, this is all going to be pretty valuable, especially for the future. So whichever team you're at, would be great if you could just find your like section. So yeah, I think you might, or Hanna, yours is on the very bottom. With everybody
Are we
else.
going to do one team at a time?
So we're going to do it at this. So the process is split up in a couple of exercises. I'm just going to explain that to you in a second. So we'll basically start off by writing down all the challenges that you have individually, and that's something that you should do for yourself. So we'll do that at the same time, and then we'll prioritize them. You'll have to do it for yourself as well. And then when we come to kind of brainstorming solutions, or actually also the voting before for prioritization, we'll do it like one at a time, from top to bottom, or from bottom to top, to kind of accommodate Hanna's team's availability. So the very first 10 minutes we'll just spend on writing down everything that you think is currently important or seems like a challenge, and then over the course of the next hour, basically step by step, go through each individual person's exercise, and then kind of walking through it. I'll explain it to you in detail. So I wanted to make this as useful for all of you as possible, so that you're all interacting with each other and nobody really has to wait for anyone else, and you get to help each other as well. This is so that's kind of an interesting part in it, because you all have different backgrounds, different experiences, and might come up with ideas that you wouldn't have come up with otherwise. So does anybody, I know there might be a couple of questions so far, because it's pretty like new. Does anybody have like something that's really like pushing you to ask me about what's going to happen? Because normally I rush through these things really, really fast, and rarely kind of explain everything, because it's just such a streamlined process.
So would it be like I can write on Karla's board?
Yeah, Ram, for you, you can just choose wherever you want to write, because
yeah, I would like them to also go through each other's board. That's but what I'm saying, what examples to write? Can I write like challenging to find a competent CTO or very skilled,
exactly, things like that. So it's like it's pretty different, because you are at a very, very early stage where you have so different kind of problems that basically everything that you perceive as a blocker right now is going to be helpful to write down. And even if you think that that's something like strange or uncomfortable or very, very detailed, it's still going to be very useful, because you basically want to figure out the biggest pain points you have, and then find solutions to the biggest one as soon as possible. That helps you just prioritize and work through your product efficiently. So yeah, something like, I can't find a CTO, or like, I don't know, my interface looks shitty. Like, can be everything. Like it also, like, it's unrelated to the state that you're or like the stage that you're at. Oh yeah, one other thing, everything's going to be time boxed. So I'll set timers on every single exercise. So you won't have that much time, but I guess enough to kind of offload everything that that would make sense. So Ram, you were saying you want them all to kind of also write down each other's problems, or how did you mean
yes, because now, for example, Anu and Karla are single here on this session. So if if they finished with their own, they can jump to the others and also start adding some post-its.
Yeah, that sounds great. Okay, cool. Let's do that then. So for the very first part, we're going to take 10 minutes and just write out everything that comes to your mind, really, like as much as possible. And again, it doesn't have to be like correct, or it doesn't have to sound right. You don't even have to, make it look like readable language, but it's supposed to just kind of offload everything that you have on your mind and collect as many thoughts as possible. Kind of quantity goes over quality. And when you're finished, if you can't come up with anything from your space anymore, just look at someone else's canvas and have a look if you can come up with stuff for them to look at. Maybe something that you've noticed in the last weeks that someone might be struggling with but hasn't paid attention to it yet. This can be super helpful, by the way, which is also difficult even in the real life setting to tell someone, like, hey, look at that, it's broken, or you're messing up your stuff. It happens to me quite often. So I would really it would be great if you could be as honest as possible. At the same time, it's also pretty anonymous, aside from if someone actually reads while you're writing it, but don't worry about it. Cool. So yeah, I'm just gonna set off a timer on 10 minutes, and then we'll keep going through this. If you have any questions or something, also, like, and if you feel uncomfortable asking them while I'm talking, because I know that I can talk quite quickly, just put them in a chat and I'll read them out, and then I can answer them accordingly. All right, I know you already started writing. So I'll start the time.
Hey.
Yeah,
Hi, Andre, this is Lena. Hey, I'm sorry, I haven't worked with Miro before, so you can just maybe send me a little message, or because it's maybe not relevant for the others, but I'm in here as a guest developer now. Can I just write a new note? I see a note.
Yes, thank you so much. I wasn't 100% sure how many of you and who is comfortable with Miro. So yeah, you once you're here, you can do everything. So here on the left-hand side, you have the post-it notes. That's actually everything you need. So you just take that and then click anywhere. If you have a mouse pad, if you have a Mac, then you can like pinch and zoom. If you have a mouse wheel, zoom with the wheel or with 2 fingers. And basically you post it and then just write whatever you want, and that's it. If you want to do it really fast, you can also on Mac option and click and drag, then you duplicate one. Or I think on a Windows computer it's Control or Alt. You'll have to try it. But that's actually everything you need. Later you'll need these little red circles, but I explain in a second. So right now,
Okay.
just post and click.
Perfect. Great. Thank you very much.
Cool. Thanks for the question. All right. I'll leave the timer on, and because I'm also not going to talk like while you're writing it, because I don't want to interrupt. I usually put on a little bit of music. So here's a free, no copyright lo-fi playlist for you. It's from the album Chill Hop Essentials.
Maybe raise the volume.
Oh, is it too quiet? Yeah.
This is always super efficient.
remember, if you get stuck, you can always switch to someone else's board and think about other problems. Last minute or 30 seconds. Cool. Okay, that's it for the first part. Thanks so much. It's pretty easy to write like for quite a long time, but the reason why I time box these things is, you know, you can think about a problem for hours, but the most important parts will be the ones that actually are on your mind right now. And especially if you want to move with a team, they don't have like an unlimited amount of time. So this makes it quite efficient to focus only on really what's most important. I realize there's some like pretty big questions on the sides of the board. Thanks for writing those out. I'll actually go into those in a bit more detail later. Thanks for
writing. to share your screen, Andre, for the live stream.
Oh yeah, right.
They need to see the screen. Yeah.
Yes, thanks, Ram. So here, there's a few questions on the sides. Keep writing them, and I'll just address them later. Because to all of them, I think say yes, but also would love to explain some more. Cool. So now you have like a bunch of ideas, thoughts, problems, challenges, whatever's currently on your mind. Now, the way that I do this, or like the way that this kind of thing, prioritization works, is that you want to, once you have a massive cluster of problems, you want to prioritize them. The way we do it is basically by voting. Super simple. So on the top right of each section, you have these like little red circles, and you can either drag them, but if you drag them, actually, I might have to put them to front. So if that doesn't work, just you know, right click them, or like on the 3 buttons here, and then bring to front, and you can drag them around. And
let's all go to team 4, to Hanna Kekkonen, and we start.
Oh yeah, that looks good. Okay, cool. Here,
so everybody go down.
Exactly. So we'll do this exactly. This is individually for everybody's boards, but together. So whatever you think are currently kind of the most important things, just use one of these red dots, and actually take 3. So for everybody, I know you can, you know, copy paste them and use as many as you like, but please, for the sake of fairness, take only 3. And just, you can like click on it and then either Command C or Control C, or you can also drag them, but I think just duplicating them makes more sense. And place them on any post-it you feel like that seems important, or like that stands out as something either to you because you know each other, or to you as the kind of owner of these problems as something that's really burning. And yeah, place the votes wherever you feel is most important. I'll give you like 3 minutes on this. So 3 minutes and 3 votes. And that should give you enough time to just go through this. But yeah, start with the team on the very bottom, or like, yeah, Hanna's team basically. And I'll put on some nice music again. And for everybody who's watching, they'll probably see someone's face in the meantime. Or maybe actually,
it would be good if we also saw the voting process.
Yeah, Ram, can you? I just enabled sharing for multiple participants. Do you think you could share the board?
Let's see.
Because yeah, it is actually quite fun to see.
Let me see.
Here's some more red dots. Oops.
I think it might.
Nice, that's perfect. Oops.
Mm-hmm. So only 3 votes per person, yeah?
Yes. If you do this yourself, it kind of depends on the team size. The more people, the less votes you want to have, because you want to kind of narrow down. But if you see that there's too many, if they're too equally distributed, you can always add on more. It just creates a, if you give people too many votes, it makes it a lot harder to vote. Cool. Okay, thank you. So just a quick question, Ram. Do you think we should go until the solutions with that team, or I actually thought that it might be better to go through each stage together individually and then kind of like that.
I think if we
just time-wise for the team.
Perhaps let's finish with Hanna's team and then jump to the other. Then we all will understand the process better.
Okay, cool. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, thank you. Cool. Then let's go through this first. So what we'll do in the next couple of stages will be basically like prioritize Hanna's challenges, rephrase them in a way that makes them sound more solvable, and then actually come up with solutions together. And then this is maybe also something that we can do because Hanna's team is also here. It's more like, helpers. It's to figure out how to prioritize the solutions and actually make them actionable, so that by the end of the next like 20 minutes, you know exactly what you should do individually. So here, let's just take a few seconds and just drag the ones with the highest votes over. I'll help you, like basically just like I'll pull them over like so. And I normally just do that separately and on a separate screen because it makes it visually just stand out what exactly to focus on. Oh yeah, that one. Thanks, Ram. There's a lot of votes.
I'll take it.
There you go.
Okay, you got them.
It's like a cluster.
You can actually, for all of you, you can click to follow the pointer of Andre. Then you can see what he's looking at and what he's talking about.
Yeah. Or on the top, you see the A with the yellow outline.
Yeah.
And you can just click that. So I'll only take the ones with 2 votes or more. Everything else is just like a bit too much for right now. Just because we also want to focus on the most important things. But it doesn't mean that these things are not important. This is still really valuable still. Let me just see if there's anything else that I missed out on. Nope. Okay. So we have kind of the very top one is vision and mission is missing. Deciding on the industry, personas are missing, who uses our platform, and then pitch deck for demo day, high-level concept vision. Waste is complex. The simple waste is already recycled. How can we match so complex things, sellers and buyers? So yeah, circular economy is a pretty complex topic, and there's a lot of really like intersecting pieces, and it's a challenge, but I think it's also quite a nice one because the more you go through these things, the more you want to kind of narrow down your focus on the very, very specific product. And you'll get there, but obviously like it just takes a little bit of like dissecting and cutting out, trimming the fat basically. So with these, what we can do is, and this is like an exercise from Procter & Gamble, we actually normally do that right in the beginning of a workshop, and kind of brief everybody how that works. But this is actually quite a nice way to take a challenge and then rephrase that into something that's more that will sound more solvable. So here's an example with like, let's say in-person meetings are not efficient. So you want to rephrase that into like, how might we, and then make that problem go away. So in this case, we want to use this as an example, and we'll take how might we, HMW, create a vision and or mission statement, maybe. I mean, this is kind of probably up to you, Hanna, to like phrase that correctly. So I'm just like kind of suggesting something, but that's kind of the idea.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
So, that makes sense. So I think we have collected so much now that we are ready to create this vision and mission. So completely makes sense.
Cool.
We have kind of decided on the scope. We still need to narrow it, but I think we are ready. Awesome.
Okay. So taking kind of this, and let me just quickly rewrite the other ones as well. Or actually, yeah, we can, for the sake of this exercise and just to kind of save some time, I'll show you how we do this with with this. So we basically want to take that, and then in the next exercise, just try and come up with as many things that need to be done in order to do this as possible. So obviously right now you have a lot of data already, as you say, but you also need to kind of prioritize what to start with, so you actually get to work through it and like basically like know exactly what you need to do in order to create it. So like, you know, which kind of format you'll use, like how you want to refurbish the information, who to involve, and things like these. And this is actually quite personal, so I think it's kind of up to you. In the end, it's probably also a good exercise for everybody else to just like brainstorm as many solutions to this as you can. And then we'll vote again. And once we've voted, that pops up the things that are kind of the most important to do immediately and the ones that make most sense to get through it really fast. So while you're doing this, and I'll set a timer on how many minutes? Like 5.
Mm-hmm.
While you're doing this, I'm just going to rewrite the other ones just so you have some as well. If you finish up with those, I'll just drag them over so you can fill them out. But start off with that one and try to come up with as many solutions to this how might we statement as possible.
So what we'll do now, also Karla, Miia, Anu, also work on this one for Hanna's pillar.
Exactly.
And then we will later go through yours as well. So we have enough time still.
Cool. Yeah, thanks, Aaron. Yeah, that's great because everybody else from Hanna's team is also here. That makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Great. So here's 5 minutes and the nice lo-fi jams.
The thing is, the sound
is it not working?
jams is not working.
Oh no.
Where do I enable multi-stream again?
Cannot share your computer sound while other participants are. Try and go. So if you have screen share, the green button on the bottom, there's this little arrow.
Hold on, I'll stop the share here.
Oh, I mean now I can do it. But you can, I think as a host, you can click on the little arrow.
Yeah.
And then it says multiple participants can share simultaneously.
Yeah, it's on. It's strange that.
Okay, that's odd. Okay. Yeah, maybe I yeah, I don't know.
You should be able to share. I remember once we did it, sharing.
Yeah, we did it before.
As well as the sound. From your side, Andrew, so you should share screen and sound.
Oh, I see. Yes, there it is. Okay. You're correct. There it is.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Perfect.
Oh yeah, perfect.
So just add the other ones up there.
Exactly. So yeah, just start writing them here. I'll take care of those. Just write as many solutions on the blue post-its as you can. They're blue because you know, we want to visually separate them. But yeah, obviously you're free to choose any color you like. So try to be already as precise as you can about these things. They don't have to be correct, right? So even if you think that a solution is impossible or maybe even wrong, still write it down just so it's there, because maybe that'll kick off some other idea that will actually make sense, maybe in you or maybe in someone else. So try and really write as many things as you can, and kind of solutions or approaches that oh yeah, cool, thanks. You've either tried or haven't. Nice.
I have to say, I'm a little bit confused. Do you want us to write the how might we statements, or do you want us to answer the how might we questions?
Yeah, you want to answer it. So the how might we's, I'll just write them up. the rest of those, but you want to focus on actually brainstorming and answering this one right here at the moment. Maybe in a little smaller post-it. Thanks. Yeah, just write them underneath here to this one. So everything that you can come up with. So I think this one is actually also probably relevant using the business model canvas, but yeah, let's put them there.
Where are the others? How might we statements, Andre?
So I think I'm a bit confused because they used to be here just a second ago.
Yeah, I created them, but then you said we shouldn't create them, so I deleted them. They were
okay. Yeah. Okay. That's fine then.
They should be on the top here.
Yeah, we want to get them there, but I thought while you're writing those, I'll just write the other how might we's. So I'll just do that real quick. There. So we don't have like a lot of time anyway, so it's fine if we just go with what's currently there. Actually, let me put on like 2 more minutes, then you have a bit more time for the other ones because they're actually quite interesting. Hanna, I'm gonna move yours over, or like copy them here to this other screen and make them blue. Just so you know. Yeah, the navigation in Miro is sometimes a little bit wacky.
Anna, you're going to have a lot of data after this to organize.
This is really amazing. Amazing. Effective.
Okay, that is quite a lot, and I normally do this like for a bit longer, but we also want to go through the other teams, so let's maybe move on with this. So same thing again. Let's vote. Just 3 minutes, and with 3 votes, on the top right you'll have them. Just take them, move them over, or copy paste them ideally, and just vote on something that sounds reasonable, and that sounds like something that would make a lot of sense. Don't have to think about whether it's actually doable right now, but maybe a little bit, but generally whatever sounds like it's a good approach or important approach right now.
Just to be sure, Andre, is it 3 votes per problem or 3 votes in all?
per person for you, like yeah, in all.
In all.
In all, okay, so
yes, yeah.
Do we all vote?
If you think that it makes sense, you feel free to vote as well. Yeah.
No, I meant I'm asking if we all voted, because I
Oh,
see
if you voted,
less and less people moving now.
Oh yeah. Has anyone not voted yet?
4 votes left, unfortunately.
Okay. Oh, no votes are left. Wait, this. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. That's. I know the pain. But that's also good because that makes you focus on what's really urgent right now. Okay, cool. I'll just stop the timer then, because that seems like it's good. So same thing. Let's just move them over here. Oh, there's actually one with 4. What's this? 3. Okay. And then there's a few with 2 votes. Yeah, awesome. That's some good stuff. I don't know how many of those were already kind of evident before, but I think this gives us a little bit of a better overview as well, like what might actually be important to work on. So let me just quickly read through this. The top one: imagine the ultimate buyer and seller and how the platform helps them. Yeah, it's definitely a good one, especially thinking of like a very specific target segment if you're thinking about the ultimate buyer, because from my perspective, you don't want to focus on like everybody. You don't want to be like, hey, this is going to be great for every single person on earth, because that's not how it's going to work. In the beginning, you'll start off with a very, very small kind of subset of people, and you want to figure out who they are and who will be interested in the specific help that you're offering them, or like, you know, doing like basically automating part of their work. Then one with most impact and demand, where circular economy is already a hot topic. Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. Find the niche problems that you have the best expertise on, like chemistry, to make the scope of the of pillar manageable. This is actually a really great one. So kind of building on your strengths and on your like past niches where your team members are in as well, or like you. This always like low-hanging fruit, like you know that space, you know, and you know it best. So like, why not just use that knowledge? Otherwise, it will take a long time. Find a niche and design a product prototype for a very specific use case that also just kind of goes along with that. Enable companies who engage in circular activities to collaborate with each other. This is also actually a really good idea. How to use the deep expertise in the team to maximize a pillar's impact. That's also kind of going along with these ideas. Research the industry that mostly needs pillar, clothing, food industry, etc. the relevance, need for potential of the circular economy. I think this is actually probably, so a lot of times like creating awareness or advertisement is seen as like a very kind of easy thing to do or easy problem. But I would actually kind of try and off put that until it's really, really required for like scaling. Because what I see with a lot of like startups or companies that they basically like do you know, their websites or their logos or their branding or like push ads before they actually kind of nail down the product. And it's actually a waste of time and a waste of money. And I have amazing like conversations on LinkedIn where people don't want to believe me because they haven't figured out their product, but they want me to design their website. It's like that's not how it works. So I would try and focus on the things that are actually really important to the core and like the core value propositions, the product. So you actually have clients who pay, and then use that money from people who pay to, you know, share the good, share what you know, and not necessarily kind of ask for help, but more like, you know, just share what you've uncovered there with your work. And that's in my experience, in my opinion, how good awareness works well. Sorry that I'm doing these like interjections. It just feels like it's fun to kind of talk about these things.
Absolutely.
Okay.
By the way, Andre, they will have access to the this Miro board.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. You can also, yeah. This one is going to stay online forever, as long as Miro exists, I hope, or my account. Yeah. If my account doesn't exist, that's bad. Yeah. So also you can feel free to copy that. I can also send you an export of this, but it doesn't matter. You'll be able to access it. Yeah. Hanna writes mission, vision, and gets feedback from team members. Yeah, that's also a good one, but also keep in mind that whatever you write down is going to like just change basically every day. So, and that's totally normal. So don't spend too much time on it. Cool. So the next thing that I would normally do, and I think this is something that you should actually do together on your own, because it's kind of very, very specific to your team or to yourself. And I would rather kind of continue with the other teams first. But I'll explain to you quickly how this works. So there's an effort impact scale and like a canvas with actionable steps. And what you can do here is basically you take one of those. Let's say you take the top one, and together with your team members, you basically look at it like, how difficult is it to actually make that happen? So if we think about, imagine the ultimate buyer and seller, how the platform helps them. Well, that is quite a lot of effort to like, you know, make a stab, like, you know, just make an assumption and then try to come up with something. But it might also have a lot of impact. Now, this is something that I don't want to influence your opinion on. So like, it's really up to you where you place this. But ultimately, it's really important for you and your team to kind of find a place where that belongs, where everybody agrees that that's necessary. So let's say, or like that's the right area. And obviously, you want to kind of ideally get the ones that are in this green section. Don't try to push them into the green section, because that's not how the exercise works.
Can you close the clock a minute so we can see the scale?
Yes, there. So you obviously some things will be outside of it, and probably most of them. So don't try to force them into the green box. But they, like for this one, imagine there might be some steps required, but once you have that, you'll actually have a pretty high impact on like what where the product will go. So like let's assume you'll decide to place it about here, and it's going to be kind of part of this green space. When you've done that with all the other ones, and they're all kind of here on this matrix, on this chart, look at the ones in the green box and move them over to the next canvas, like so. And then you can start breaking them down. And here you can really like, I'm just going to delete the dots so it's better visible. Here the idea is to just like take the ones apart that are really easy to solve and have the highest efficiency, break them down into really small chunks and steps. Like, let's say, you know, what do we have here? Imagine So first deciding on a, I guess the first step is, for instance, decide on a target segment, or you probably already have that, but like, or maybe not, but like either decide or write it down, or like do the business model canvas, and then step 3, whatever. So by the end of it, you'll basically have the very specific steps that are very doable, that someone can actually just go ahead and do in like a day or so. And you'll assign that to someone, or someone from your team will raise their hand to do that. And you do that with a couple of things, and you'll basically have dissected by this time a bunch of like vague problems that you started off in the beginning, which, you know, all kind of made some sense, but you weren't really sure which is the most important, into prioritizing what's actually doable right now, and into making them actionable for everybody on your team. And again, this is something that you can do, like I've done that for a couple of years, pretty much every single week. And it really helps like reshape the entire organization throughout time. Now I do it not as often, and more like on a project basis, but it's really, really helpful to know, like, especially if you have people who are really active and just want to go off and do stuff and help you, you'll really get to some results, and you'll always be able to reevaluate them once they're done. So like once you kind of implemented these things, next week you do the same exercise again, you'll see how that worked, and you'll learn through what has worked, what hasn't, in a very short time, but also kind of you'll learn what you need to do next. So yeah,
does this make sense to everybody?
I think this is really helpful for us with such a complex topic like the circular economy. And we have problems the last week how to slice the elephant, and this is I think this is really helpful for the whole team. So I'm really happy.
Cool, nice. Glad to hear. Also, always feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to help you with whatever pops up, because I've been through these things a million times, and like for many different problems. I actually also designed a little product for fun for circular economy. I can share with you later. Just like basically for fun with a bunch of friends who were like, hey, let's do something for circular economy, and we actually created a prototype. Never really developed it or anything, but there might be something for you to kind of look through as well.
I will share with all of you Andre's email. Deepwork.studio is in the second program with us as a strategic partner, and they've been great in the past program with following up also with the startups further down. So once you are a bit further ahead, they can do amazing things for your sprints, for your design sprints, for sure.
Yeah.
And they have an office in San Francisco or in the West Coast.
Do we? I don't know.
The lady.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, I see. Yeah. Our office is all in hyperspace, but I'm happy to fly around. Anyway, let's move to the other.
Let's go with Miia, because her CTO is here, and
cool.
So he doesn't get bored too much.
Nice.
And from Hanna's team, feel free to hang around, see how we continue. But if you want to leave, then thank you for contributing.
Yeah, thanks a lot. And also, I mean, if you have time, I would actually kind of recommend you to stick around, because all of these challenges are relevant, and or like might be relevant for you in the future, or even right now. Like maybe, again, these are things that are just hidden and you haven't ever thought about them, but they'll actually kind of help you figure out what needs to be done at which particular stage, and you might find a lot of use in that later. So let's do the same thing again here. So you already know with the votes, 3 votes, 3 minutes, and very top. Again, yeah, whoever wants to leave from Hanna's team, goodbye and thank you so much. Otherwise, here's a timer, and I'll see you in 3 minutes.
I will do so. So thanks a lot for being part of this round, and hopefully I can join in another time also with the cross project round. Okay, thanks a lot.
Cool. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
See you.
Enjoy your
Bye-bye.
day. Bye.
Karla, Anu, have you voted also on Mia's one?
Yes, already done.
Ah, cool. Who hasn't voted yet? Sorry, sometimes I don't see if everybody's done. Okay. Yeah, nice. By the way, also you can do these exercises obviously again on your own. Like I'll also leave you with like instruction material for this. Actually, it's also on our website. Let me just quickly show you. Just if you want to do this on your own, there's different formats that I wrote out, almost like templates, and they're connected to Miro boards. So I think what we're doing right now is something like this one. It says 90 minutes. And there's a Miro board. You can click on it and then just copy stuff from it. I think you can also edit pretty much everything on it. So please don't delete everything. But it's basically, oh no, actually, yeah, cool. Okay, yeah, you might be able to delete it. So don't delete it, but this is kind of the same or a very similar flow. And if you scroll further down, it just kind of explains every single step that you'd need to do, sometimes with images. So you can, and you should do that yourself as well. So just so you know.
Awesome.
All right, let's, I'm just gonna move these over here so we can work our way through it. I think, yeah, let's just use those two. I'm just saying that also because, you know, some things pop up after you start thinking about it, or like after you've started thinking about other things. So you'll, there'll be a lot of time to do that again. So the top voted ones are get initial traction, launch first event, and onboarding venues and acts, and then existing partnerships of venues with ticketing platforms, go to market from strategy to implementation. So let's actually quickly do that again, maybe for all four this time, so we can avoid the mess. How might we get initial traction and launch first event? So this makes sense. how we onboard venues and acts. This one, I don't know exactly. Oh yeah, cool, Karla, thanks. That's great. User, yeah, exactly. And then we create a go-to market. Oh, what is it? Go to market from strategy to implementation. Oh yeah, it's a roadmap maybe or something. Help me. Or actually, I'll just leave it like this. Go to market from strategy to implementation. That's easy. I mean, obviously, you can rewrite that later in a way that sounds more succinct or better. But let's just use these for now. And this is the same as last time. So I'm just going to put a timer on 5 minutes. And if 5 are not enough, we'll have more. Yeah, cool. Feel free to change them as well. That's very fair. And yeah, try to come up with as many solutions as you can. And let's see what comes up. Sorry. Oops.
I love the COVID after party.
Yeah.
Huge.
More dangerous, the COVID itself or the after party.
Sorry, I
What is
didn't
it? Say it
catch
again,
it.
please.
COVID after party, like might take few victims. I think that people would go crazy partying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I imagined what that would look like if all of a sudden, you know, some governmental institution would be like, "Hey, COVID is over. It's like we can all party now," and everybody's just gonna flip out. The whole world just parties like for 2 weeks straight.
Yeah, I think even longer than that because of all the missed family reunions and birthday parties and so on.
That's true. Yeah.
If you all want to do them from last year plus the events from this year, it's gonna be I don't know, long-term party going on.
Wow.
But that's such a cool idea, right? It could be the first global holiday that we all have is the COVID, after party day or something like that.
Wow, it's
Actually,
like World Independence Day.
Yeah, it's actually quite an interesting thought, I think, because what COVID is doing is actually quite unique to like human history. Like we've never agreed on something like where the entire planet agrees on something that's bad. You know, like obviously there were things like viruses and flus, but not in the same way that COVID is doing it with the internet. So flipping that around is something positive that also aligns everybody would be pretty awesome.
We have been talking about that if Vietnam War created a situation before, what happens when there was
right.
and people have to get out there and party a little bit. It will be
right. Crazy. Well, it's actually up to you to figure out, right?
All right, for the sake of time.
Oh yeah, right. Sorry.
40 minutes and 2 more teams.
Yeah.
So let's.
Let's vote. Sorry. Take 3 votes, 3 minutes, and then we'll jump over to the next. Oh yeah, sorry. These are now we can move them. We can get to some more. Oops.
Sadie, Sean, Lena, if you want to contribute, please do.
Yeah, I'm just catching up right now. So I'm so how do you say traumatized by voting properly right now that I don't want to make the wrong vote. So just reading through.
So by the way, we before we launched the accelerator online, our first online program was back in April of this year, and before we launched, we run such a sprint with deepwork.studio. on this, really brainstorming. We had the startups, we couldn't fly them over to Frankfurt, so we really started brainstorming this way, and they helped us get to what we're doing now.
Awesome. That's really cool to hear.
Yeah. Remember, we were with you and Charlie. We did it.
It was completely new for me. My daughter knew about it because she works in a design studio then. And I thought, okay, interesting, yeah, fine. But now we're using, I went back to her like a fanboy and said, wow, it's the greatest thing. And she looked at me and said, okay, Dad, great.
Okay,
finally you understood what the rest of us all know how to do. Yeah.
But if you think about it, we're all remote now, and this is super efficient. In just a few minutes, look how many things we've noted down.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna read through those, and then we can move over to the last two teams. So the first one is create an onboarding guide. What do you need them? What do you need from them? How does the process work? Who takes care of what? Then hire the most networked people. Then the COVID after party, partner with babysitters. That's an interesting one. Partnership with venues, promoters, and act agencies, act agents. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I think all of them require a little bit of kind of more in-depth thought in like how that makes sense and whether that actually makes sense. Because obviously like we're just coming up with random things. But actually, yeah, like hiring most network people, I also thought about like, I went through that myself a little bit. I didn't end up hiring anyone because I realized that it's actually, for most cases, like what you're doing is so specific that it's pretty hard to hire someone to do the right work for you. It's more like, at least in my experience, I find most value in getting help from people in terms of like actual labor and work, and then they will pass on something and that'll kind of network. But in an event space, it's a very particular place anyway. But this is cool. Yeah, an onboarding guide also makes a lot of sense, I think. And obviously, yeah, partnering with babysitters. So yeah, that's great. Again, I recommend going through these other ones as well, just to kind of on your own, just to kind of dissect if you think there's something valuable in them, or kind of go into these exercises more in depth with your team, where everybody's like deeply invested in making it happen and actually like tries to come up with solutions that or like with more solutions that will actually be more specific and more applicable to you right now. But this is also pretty good already. Cool. Who should we do next? Anu or Karla? Doesn't matter?
Doesn't matter.
Okay, cool. Then let's just start with Anu from top to bottom. And then, yeah, I'll just set a timer on 3 minutes again. And I realized there are already like red votes here. I don't know if someone already voted or not, but let's just assume they don't exist. Or I'll just move them away, unless whoever placed them really thinks that they should stay there. Okay, I'll just move them. Oh, actually, yeah, sorry. Let me, here, I posted some more. They will be on the surface, because if you, so Miro has this thing that if you place a post-it and then after you had this placed red dot, then it'll slide underneath. It's a bit annoying, but just use the ones, if you move them, use the ones on the right here, if you move them around. Cool. I think everybody's done, right? Seems like it. Okay, nice. Stopping the timer. Okay. What do we have? Finding the right partners. Reaching the consumers. Okay. What's also cool about this is that you can be as vague at this stage as you like. And then because you're going to rephrase it and then come up with a couple of solutions, you get more precise over time as you kind of do things. So the top ones are finding the right partners, insurers, platform, distributor, reaching the consumers, finalizing the money streams, licenses, and reporting from end consumers to neurons to insurers, identifying the right buyers, early adopters. That's actually also quite similar. Thanks, Karla. Yeah, let's just rewrite them. Reach the consumers, find the right partners, I guess. Finalize money streams. And how we actually identify the right early adopters. Oh yeah, cool. Okay, yeah, that's already there. Nice. Maybe find the right partners. Find the right partners. Awesome. Okay, so let's put them here and think about that again. So let's take 5 minutes again, and yeah, just write as many as you like. Next step. Oh, sorry, yeah, that also happens sometimes.
It's not working with the background music anymore.
You can't hear it?
No.
I can hear it, yeah.
Yeah, we can hear it, Andre. I can hear it.
Okay.
Okay, then it's just me.
Weird.
I'm just so fascinated by all the different things moving around all at one point.
Yeah.
You know, probably if we sat all in the same meeting room, we wouldn't be as efficient.
Probably, yeah. And we'd have breakout sessions, right? Two of us would start talking over on the side, drinking coffee. We wouldn't actually be working.
Yeah.
I just posted the link to the instructions. Yeah.
Thank you.
There's also much more that I can share with you, but I'll mention it later. Okay. I'm going to stop the timer now, just because I really don't like the noise it makes when it stops. You can imagine doing these workshops like 50 times a day, it gets really annoying. So cool, let's do another round of voting. So 3 minutes, have a look at what you think makes sense or doesn't. And I'll see you in 3. There's more dots. Oh yeah, try and use the ones here on the very right, because I'm just going to delete those. They're not going to work.
I just use copy and paste, Control C.
Yeah, that
works best.
Yeah, that works best. Cool, looks good. I think everybody's done, right? Nice. Okay, so what do we have here? If you do that yourself, you can also, like, sometimes you'll have a lot of things, and they might only make sense if they're actually contextually relevant to the question. So sometimes it makes sense to kind of move them over along with the question. So let me just quickly read through this. List the plus minus for each of the identified partners and close the deal. Create a free webinar on YouTube on why it's never a good idea to have a PPI from the bank that gives you the loan. And create the need for product by content production. It's interesting. It's kind of going in the same lines. Define advocates for neurons. Go through the process with the final insurers and platform providers to find the optimal solutions. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty specific, so it's very difficult for me to kind of comment on that, but sounds reasonable.
Hanna, looks good. Anu, sorry.
Yeah.
All right. And basically, you can then continue to, as you saw earlier, what has the highest impact and least effort.
Yeah.
And continue from there.
And or maybe do it a couple more, or like another time, and like try and go a bit more into detail. So like with things that are really like a lot more immediate, because these things are also very, very high level still. So like sometimes what might pop up is something that's very kind of specific in terms of like more granular challenges in like how you want to reach the customers. Like there might be some challenges that are associated with how you actually reach out to them, or maybe there's some more specific problems in the identification of the right early adopters. Like maybe you'll figure out something that might help you kind of solve a sub problem. But maybe these things will also already kind of be a good start for that. If you already kind of see those, maybe something out of here comes up as being a new challenge. Cool. So we have another 20 minutes left. Let's do the last team, and then I'll wrap up and talk to you a little bit about prototyping, like answer some questions. So let's go over to team 3, to Karla's board, and I'm actually going to make those dots blue this time, just because some of the posts are red. And here, we can use them. And let's take 3 minutes again. Have a look, and I'll see you in 3. Yeah, cool. Looks good. Yeah, I think everybody's done with voting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Find a data science tech co-founder. Like these are still like challenges, these are not solutions. Create a draft pitch deck, draft up a tech solution, identify assumptions with highest risk, validate idea with customers. It's always a favorite of mine. How to find interested companies for a pilot. Also pretty cool. Nice. Let's just quickly rephrase them, rewrite them. Or we find a tech co-founder. Oops. Draft up a technical solution. We find interested companies for a pilot. And we create a draft pitch deck. And how might we identify some...
The identify is already there.
Cool. Okay, thanks. We validate the idea with customers. Okay, great. Awesome. Same game. Let's just move them here. And 5 minutes. Oh yeah, by the way, if you do this yourself, you can also, like, you should probably take about 7 to 10 minutes each to give you a bit more time, especially on the writing things. Voting is normally faster. So 5 minutes, and I'll see you there. Nice. Okay, and one last thing, 3 minutes. Let's vote. Let me just, oops, here, I'm gonna recopy them so that they're better to post.
Now, Karla, even if some of these don't get enough votes to move on, there's some pretty good stuff here that you should get back
I
to.
totally agree, and I'm really happy to say that I already do some of them. So makes
Awesome.
Yeah,
nice.
Really great suggestions.
Everybody done, right? That was fast. Nice. Yay, okay. Damn it. Sometimes it's very tricky to move these things. Okay, so that one. A lot with 2 votes. Sweet. So I'm just going to read through them real quick. Which companies are suffering the most from the bias data without knowing? Show the impacts to brand results, worst workforce. I don't exactly understand what that means, to be honest, but it might make sense to some of you.
Totally
right?
makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, good, cool. Then always use your network shamelessly to get the intros. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Obviously, like, ask nicely, don't annoy people. Provide content regarding the problem on LinkedIn and become expert of synthetic data. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Once you're clear with the problem and scope, start explaining it to your grandma or a 5-year-old, and put them to the Kawasaki model. Yeah, that's a good idea. I feel like generally, if you like present your idea many times to someone, it just becomes more and more refined each time you do it. And then search for entrepreneur Facebook groups, make an ad of what you're looking for, and meet online. Set up as many meetings as possible. KPI equals 2 meetings a day, 10 a week, 40 a month, feedback. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess it's similar to just talking to people. Yeah, cool. I think this is great. I hope that helps somehow. Like, there's more here. Again, like I agree with Ram. There's like things relating to prototyping or finding ambassadors, which are all very, very valid. But it's interesting that these kind of popped up still. Yeah, sweet.
What I found, Karla, there's a huge meetup group in Frankfurt, for example. It's a data science meetup group, and I'm sure in Berlin there's also. What would be great is, and what would be great is not only joining them, but even asking the organizer to give you a 3-minute stage time to present what you're doing.
Yeah.
That would open up a lot of doors.
I have met last week, for example, with one of the organizers from Women in AI Germany. So I'm already doing that. But yeah, there's so many meetups. Basically, I could just go to data science meetups all week and be super busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, finding out the most relevant ones, that's kind of a tough task.
And talk to me. We'd be happy perhaps to sponsor such a meetup. If they happen in person one day, we could sponsor drinks, food. So
all right, thank you.
Nice. Yeah. Cool. So yeah, we only have a couple of minutes left, but that was quite a lot of work. I know that I don't know how you guys feel when I do that for a couple of hours. It gets pretty exhausting after a while. So it's normal, and I also try to normally put breaks in between. And when sometimes we have like 4-hour sessions, but they have like breaks in between, obviously. But yeah, so like this is also quite a unusual case. Obviously, if you do it with your team, you would do it only once, and only on kind of your topics. But yeah, that's kind of it. So next time we're actually going to have like another session, and I'd actually like to basically, like, if you're interested, at least I'd like to show you some stuff about prototyping and user testing, because
please tell us a little bit what's for next time. We can go a couple of minutes.
Yeah. Okay, cool. That's great. So basically what would be great, so I'm going to try and set up something that we can do user tests with. This is just like an article. But what would be great is if you had already something that you could like prepare for next time, like having a prototype or something. Like it doesn't have to be like screens or like an actual like device or whatever. It doesn't have to work. But, and this is like an article that I wrote ages ago that basically outlines the most important fundamental points. You basically want to create something that's like the next step for users to give you feedback on, that's like as tangible as you can imagine. So obviously the fidelity of the prototype follows whatever you want to know. So if you don't have the resources to do something like that's super visual, in this case, this is also not necessary most of the time. Like you don't have to do these like super complex interactions. Most of the times, a very simple screen will be enough, or sometimes it's just a landing page. Something very, very simple that really kind of should communicate the idea that you have in a succinct way. I try to make my prototypes to look as and appear as real as possible. So if you do like an app that it's clickable, but you can use tools like InVision or Figma. Here's a GIF that was like similar. It's actually just images, but you know, there are hotspots, so you can click on them and they behave the right way. And yeah, just like have a look at different tools. The simplest thing is just to create a little landing page and just to outline your idea and your concept, so that whoever will look at it can tell you that whether it resonates or it doesn't. And essentially, for I think most of you, the most important thing right now is to figure out, like, you know, where's your niche? What exactly could the product be? Because once you talk to people about it, they will also tell you what they need. And in the end, you're creating something that will solve a certain, or like that will do a certain job for them. PowerPoint is one. You can use that. PowerPoint makes it a bit difficult to create something that visually looks real, though. But definitely, if you only have access to PowerPoint, that makes sense. If you have more time, try to play around with Figma. Actually, I found the prototype on like the circular economy thing earlier that I did. That was pretty old, so like no judgment. And I did that with like very limited resources. But I was basically like an idea for an app where like instead of objects being like owners sharing objects would own themselves, and they would just kind of go around, and with like with token economics you can kind of assign money to that specific object, almost like it owns itself and it owns the value, so it can pay off from its own for its own repair. And these are just like very basic screens, but if you look at them, they do pop up certain questions like, what does that mean? Where does that money come from? How do I get rewarded? Who am I going to pay this to? And like, you basically want to know these questions that people ask when they look at something like this, and when they resonate with a product. Again, this is very basic, or like it might even be too complicated. I don't know, like depends on what you can do. But it's totally fine. Like as long as it sparks ideas and thoughts, that's perfect. So anyway, long story short, try to prepare something for next week. And then I'll guide you through like how to.
It's not next week. When was it?
November? December. Wait, let me just check. Yeah, sorry, 2nd of December.
Yeah, 2nd of December. So they have a couple of weeks now.
Okay, so actually you have more time.
Yeah.
So then design the real thing. No, just make a prototype that looks nice and like that feels right. If you want, you can already like show it to people. I can also give you like kind of I'll share this with you later, or actually like I'll share all of the links with you in a second in Zoom. But we'll basically go through this kind of how to set up user interviews and how to talk to people, and I'll just talk more about how I do it. Basically, this is going to be the next session. So we will kind of user test it together with each other, with you. So like you will show your prototype to someone else in your among you four, or if there's more people, they can also kind of look at it. But I'll kind of guide you through how to do that properly, what questions to ask, what the interview should look like, and then show you how to find people, the ones that you need to find for your product, and then how to run them. So that's going to be kind of the focus on next week. And I think the best thing is to start off with is if you had something that's tangible. If you can, don't necessarily show it to everybody yet until December. You're welcome, Jarkan. See you. Don't necessarily show it to everybody, because then you can get like the most honest feedback at that point. If you're tight on time, obviously do it. Like it's up to you. You have to do what's right. Like don't sacrifice your timelines for me. But I'll send you the links, or like somehow through RAM or maybe in the Zoom. And yeah, basically that's it for today. I hope all of these were answered along the way. Yeah. If you have any more questions, obviously feel free to reach out.
Any questions?
Thank you so much.
No questions?
Cool, that's perfect. I hate questions.
Very good. Okay, so Andrea, this has been amazing as always. We managed to do it now with 4 teams. We never did it like that, and right on time. Thank you everybody for participating. Please come back on for the next session. Next week we're going to meet a couple of investors, so you will start pitching already to investors. And December 2nd, deepwork.studio is again with us. All of you are welcome again, not only the core teams. And I send it to commercials now. See you all next week.